I think there were many moments when I realised, yes, this was a field for me. One of the first moments was actually looking down the microscope at a bone marrow aspirate I had done on a patient that I had seen and being able to make that diagnosis. But that relationship is kind of reaffirmed, on an almost weekly basis in the clinic, etc. The other thing that really inspires me in haematology is the relationship with patients and the ability to form a therapeutic relationship over some time, at least in my discipline.
So haematology for me was, as it is with probably almost everyone, something that's been, I guess, I've become committed to both from the examples of doctors, nurses and patients who I've met during my medical training. And so I can think of several key individuals who embodied a way of either getting to know patients and kind of entering into their world in a compassionate and wholehearted way, or of patients who taught me so much about what it is to be human, what it is to be alive as they dealt with a particular suffering, the particular challenges they had in hematological conditions. And I have no doubt that that happens in so many other specialties, but for me it just happened that those were the clinicians and patients that I came across who resonated most deeply with me. And I think now I just feel very glad to be in a community of people where I'm just aware of some people who are trying to do the best they can to alleviate suffering, and that might sound a bit kind of airy-fairy and vague, but I don't sense the competition, I don't sense the sort of cutthroatness that can happen in some areas of medicine, of surgery, of elsewhere. And they probably exist, I've probably been lucky, but that's something that I've been glad that I think our line of work does challenge us to keep coming back to the basics of why are we doing what we're trying to do.
How did I get into hematology? Well, to be honest, I did everything to avoid that. I remember, we have this rotation when I started internal medicine, and people asked me, hey, what about getting on the hem-onc ward? And said, I'm a youngster. Well, then you go to nephrology. And I said, well, never go to nephrology. So this is how I came into hematology. And I have to say, it's probably like for most people, I was very impressed how our attending physician took care of our patients and discussed with the team the next steps of treatment. So this is why I finally went on to stay in hematology.
When I was a student, I always wanted to do research, and I had no clear idea yet of what type of research I would like to end up into. But then looking more and more into leukemia research, that really got my attention. At the time that I started, many oncogenes were unknown yet. And so there was a real discovery possible to identify new oncogenes, new mutations and genes that were causing leukemia. And since then, I'm still working in that field.